Yo, what's going on, man? Welcome back to another episode of Mental Health, the podcast, a safe space created for men to come, have those tough conversations, discuss those tough conversations, fellowship, man. You know what I'm saying? Be men. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, let's get straight into it, man. This week's episode is called Choices, and I named it the Choices this week because, as of late, it just seems as though, you know, men, we are faced with different choices, different options, different opinions, different decisions, difficult decisions that we have to make on a daily basis. And a lot of those decisions and choices kind of steer us in the direction of, are we going left or are we going right? Or some of us don't even make the decision at all. We let the decisions decide our fate for us. Piggybacking off of that is just, I was scrolling on Instagram and TikTok, and, the discussion has come up a lot of like athletes and getting in trouble, or these young athletes who go back home for the summer or, for a week during school, and, they get into trouble. And it's crazy because one of the things I used to always have these discussions with some of the guys is, I believe in the whole product of your environment type of situation, but at the same time, I don't, because, I'm not going to say I grew up, in the best areas. I'm not going to say I grew up, with the silver spoon. That's my story. But I will say, you do have the choices sometimes to either go left or go right, because at the end of the day, when you're a young athlete and you've grown up in these, I want to say, tougher environments, your goal is to get out, right? Your goal is I want to buy my mama a house. I want to buy my daddy a car. I want to take care of my brothers and sisters. Like, that's the goal. You know what I'm saying? So in your mind, a lot of the times that does drive statistically a lot of those kids to get out of those situations and look at it like, man, I want to move my mama out the hood. You know what I'm saying? And as of late, it seems as though these kids, they work so hard to get, in these positions where they can better themselves and better their family, put their family in better situations, just to resort back to their old ways. And I'm trying to understand the aspect of why that is, because you work so hard to get here. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of kids too who they resent their parents in a sense, or people grow up resenting their parents in a sense, because it's like, and when I say resent, listen to what I'm saying. A lot of kids have grown up in, dual parent households, and a lot of kids have, grown up to where they've been given everything they want, but some of them still choose the route of, I want to say I got it out the mud. I grew up this way. I grew up that way. I grew up in the trenches. Hey man, listen, that storyline, that storyline of saying, I made it out the hood, the kids whose storyline that is, that's for them. Persona they have to actually go through and live through and fight through and try to dismiss those traumatic experiences that they did growing up. You other motherfuckers that's out here that's just want to be hard just because, it looks good, or you want to be an internet gangster, and it's like you're ruining your future that you work so hard to get there for. You know what I'm saying? To successfully place yourself in a better situation than what you've grown up in. Bro, lock in and understand that you don't have to be the hood baby hero or the neighborhood hero. You don't have to have that storyline to still be successful, to still have people look at you a certain way. Success is the persona that you should be, idolizing, not this internet, I'm a gangster, I'm street, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing this, that, and the third, I'm robbed, I'm like that. Come on, bro. Because you work too hard to get here, and then y'all throwing it away, man. You're seeing it too much, man. There was an article, I forget what the university was. They went home for summer break, and y'all robbing houses, which is crazy to me because y'all getting NIL money now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. Segueing into it, it's a lot of people out here who make choices that aren't the best choices, and it's either the people around them or it's them claiming to have, to be a product of their environment. Like, oh, where I come from, this and the third. Man, listen, bro. I come from, I want to say, very, very, very humble beginnings. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen a lot of people where I've come from, and people across the street, my neighbors, my friends from back in the day, like, they make the wrong choices due to the fact that they were consumed by their environment. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the difference from being a product of your environment and being consumed by the environment. You stay there long enough and you get brainwashed into, you know what I'm saying, thinking that this is the only way. Nah, man, you have to think bigger than your surroundings. And I think to get out of that, I'm a product of my environment, you have to be able to see past your environment. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people aren't programmed or wired that way. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people too, we don't value, or we don't talk enough about having, dual parent households. enough as we should. We don't glamorize it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's on this wave of, oh, I can do it on my own, or, you know, single mothers, or I can do it on my own, but not understanding the value of having two parents that can actually support. And I'm not going to say all two-parent households are the best households, but it's better than one. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, everybody's a team. It takes a village to help get and raise and create these opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish that the opportunity of when I graduated, there was a trust fund. I wish there was an opportunity of understanding, you know, credit early and all these other different aspects. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are just different things that come a little different. Some households, I won't say that not all single family households, you know, they don't teach those values, but statistically proven, like, there are some people who sacrifice, or some people who get the short end of the stick dealing with single parent households. You know what I'm saying? And it's not by choice. You know, life happens. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, not making excuses for it, this is where the choices align. Because there's always a little voice in your head that'll tell you, man, make this choice or make that choice. And to be honest, a lot of us know what the wrong choice of what we're doing is, but, you know, some of us are so hungry off of the instant gratification of making this choice and knowing that wasn't the best choice. Or, you know, some of us will wait the long game and make the right choice and understand that this isn't something that's supposed to be a quick scheme or a instant gratification type of deal. This is something longevity and that's setting up my future. You know what I'm saying? And another case to that is a lot of y'all have FOMO. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all have fear of missing out on opportunities and things which puts you in bad situations, when in actuality your FOMO should be fear of missing opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of y'all will rather not understand that, you know, maybe I shouldn't take that trip, maybe I shouldn't go to the club that weekend, maybe I shouldn't, you know what I'm saying, go meet up and do the things that I could enjoy right now, which is just, again, the instant gratification, but not understanding, man, but there's some opportunities on the table that I want to create. You know, I want to lose that weight. I want a better job. I want, I don't know. I want a better relationship with God. Like, you're missing the opportunities because you had a fear of missing out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and your fear of missing out starts adding up. It's like eating bad. You build bad habits. You're eating bad. You're always snacking. You get a cheat meal. It's just like that. You know what I'm saying? You always feel like I'm missing out. You don't want to miss out on any opportunities because you feel like you're missing out on the fun. But then now you reel it back in and you realize months went by and all that missing out, all that fun that you didn't want to miss out on, you missed out on so many different opportunities and you're behind everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, the same people that you're trying to make sure that you're in the same place or doing the same things that they're doing, you haven't been taking care of the things that you needed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what they've been doing. You don't know if they didn't miss out on their opportunities, if they went to the gym, or if they financially are in a better, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what they got going on. You just want to be around them just to say you being around them. You know what I'm saying? And now you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and doing everything that they doing. And then you look back later down a few months later and you haven't checked off not one goal. You haven't, you know what I'm saying, made no opportunities for yourself, and you haven't created not one sense of, not a sense of a better future for yourself, because you have a fear of missing out. Y'all need to have a fear of missing opportunities. The opportunities that are presented to yourself. And a lot of us, we miss out on the blessings that are right in front of us because we are so blinded to the things that we want to do versus the things that we need to do. You know what I'm saying? And two, you know, we look at, you know, financial freedom. That's a goal of mine. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Financial freedom is a huge goal of mine. I want to financially, and I'm not going to sit here and say be rich, but I want to financially not worry about anything. You know what I'm saying? I wake up and everything goes on auto pay. You know what I'm saying? That's financial freedom to me. Or being able to set my kids up college tuition, even if they don't, you know, go and play basketball or play sports. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to support them through school if scholarships aren't available for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, things like that, buying land, like those things, those are the type of things that are important. My health. You know what I'm saying? I want to be running around with my kids and being able to be the fun dad, to be able to do these things that, you know, my kids can never say, well, my dad wasn't really active with her. Man, I want to be that dad. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to, summer vacations, my kids are able to go back to school and say, hey, you know, my dad, we went cruising on Amalfi Coast. Like, those are things to me, is being able to create memories. I think creating memories is another sense of having financial freedom, because, you know, people try to say, oh, no, money doesn't bring you happiness. You're crazy. You're crazy. Show me a broke, happy person, and I'll give y'all $100. And y'all can DM me right now if you show me somebody who's broke right now and happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, financial freedom it brings a different level. It brings more opportunities to your plate that you wouldn't have if you know what I'm saying, didn't. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing about it is a lot of y'all try to say, you know, oh, I don't have it, or I'm poor. You're not poor. You just make poor decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just make poor decisions because sometimes you have to understand you have to sacrifice what you have, what you have to sacrifice in the moment, what you could be doing versus what you should be doing. There are ways, you know, you can't always be prepared, and you can't always, you know, everybody's situation is a little bit different than everyone else's. But at the end of the day, you can make the necessary steps and choices to place yourself in better positions and create better opportunities for yourself, man. For instance, for a few years, I played basketball overseas for maybe a solid 4 years solidly. And then I got into coaching. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, do I really want to do this forever? I don't see myself really understanding, like, you know what I mean? Do I really want to be coaching for real, for real? And it made me take a step back and kind of really put the decision of, do I go back to America? Do I get a regular job and understand that I'm making the same money being away? Now, mind you, traveling did bring a sense of, you know, I got to see the world and different experiences. So I'm grateful and blessed for that. But, you know, the choice of what do I see my future and understanding, do I keep chasing the dream of wanting to play basketball or just being around basketball? Or do I make the choice to understand that, hey, I want more for myself. I want more in the future. And I understand that this may be something that I like and I want, but what do I need? You know, we need to understand the wants versus the needs. A lot of us want to drink. A lot of us want to, you know, smoke. A lot of us want to party. A lot of us want to travel. A lot of us want the newest clothes, the newest Jordans and things like that. But what do we need? You know what I'm saying? I need a roof over my head. I need food in the house. I need a new car that'll get me to my reliable job. You know what I'm saying? I need better finances. I need my credit to be better. You know what I'm saying? These are the choices that we have. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to my boy and I was asking myself, the question that came up was, if you watch, because a lot of y'all watch reality TV, a lot of y'all do, Love Island and all this other stuff, and everybody has an opinion about it, right? If you were to watch your life on a reality TV and your person was the character that you get to see every week, the choices that character makes, i.e. you, how would you respond to the choices that they make? What would be your review? What would be your reaction? What would you say about the person that moves exactly like you, your character in a sense, on a reality TV show? Would you say they're making the right choices? From that viewpoint of you looking from the outside looking in, would you say they're doing everything that they need to do to present themselves in better opportunities? Would you say that? Because, I mean, everybody has an opinion on, you know, where people are on reality TV. So picture yourself on a reality TV and ask yourself, are you making the necessary choices? Are you making the right choices? You know what I'm saying? Do you have fear of missing out? Or do you have a fear of missing opportunities? Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to get back to understanding that as a man, we are faced with so many different choices, so many different challenges, so many different opportunities on a daily basis. But how do we navigate how to make the right choices versus why are we making the wrong choices? And you got to ask yourself that. I think, you know, as what I've been doing lately, I've been pros and conning everything. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I want to make a decision, I write pros, I write cons, and then I understand which one outweighs, you know, more. And pros should always outweigh the cons in every aspect. I don't care. You can have cons in everything. There's going to be cons in every choice that you do make, but you want to have more pros when it comes to it. I think when we, as men, we talk all the time with each other, and we kind of overhype bad choices and bad decisions a lot because that's your boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my guy. Da, 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 da. Which on the last episode, Anchor, we had a segment talking about accountability, and I think the people around you, the circle around you, should hold you accountable enough to say, hey man, you made a terrible choice. These are bad choices that you're making. This is not a, you know what I'm saying, a choice that should be made. Like, I'm going into, you know, my fitness stuff, and, you know, when I post on the internet and I post that I'm in the gym, or I'm posting I'm doing that third, I try to do motivational quotes and things of that nature. It's not for me to brag or say, oh, I'm better than y'all. I'm hoping that inspires and keeps y'all accountable too, because all my fellas, like, all my people in my circle, like, we are closely knit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I shouldn't have to say too much you should see it. That's the kind of, and to me, that's always been one of the, there's different ways to lead people. You can be a verbal leader, you can be a visual leader, and things of that nature. But I think you lead by example. And that's one of my favorite things to do is I'd rather show you I'm doing it versus tell you I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you see my results, you know what I'm saying, than I'm telling you my results. I think that's the best way to kind of get people to lean in and believe in that man, he's making the right choices. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could drink every day. That's one choice. Or I could go to the gym every day. I wake up every morning to go to the gym now versus, you know what I'm saying, staying up late at night drinking and I don't get up at all. Those are the choices that you make. I don't drink during the week. I may drink during the weekend, you know what I'm saying? But that's a goal of mine and a choice that I'm making to say, hey, I want better for myself. I want to be nice. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? I'm going to be in shape. I'm going to be looking sexy on the beach. I'm going to have the abs popping, the arms going to be busting, the back muscles going to be flaring. You know what I'm saying? But that's a choice to understand that, like, that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So we need to really understand that the choices that you make on a daily basis you can go left or you can go right. You know what I'm saying? And when we are faced with adversity, that's another thing. You know, a lot of us we get shaken back or we get knocked back or we get, you know what I'm saying, we take 2 or 3 steps back and we're shaken up because our world has been distorted a little bit. But the choice to dwell and sit and wallow in that sorrow, that's one choice. Or you can pull your bootstraps up, tie them Timbs up, you know what I'm saying, high knee it up out there and move forward. Us as men, we got to realize, like, we are already carrying so much. You know what I'm saying? So to keep adding more weight, more sorrow, more why me, all of that shit adds up, and it's just it compresses all of it compresses already what's on your back even more. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what causes a lot of depression. That's what causes a lot of, anxiety. That's what causes us a lot of, feeling lost in moments, because we let the moments consume us when we really should be trying to, project and prevail up out of those situations, So it's always a difficult conversation when we try to say, am I making the right choice or am I making the wrong choices? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, all you can do is be honest with yourself and hope and understand and seek conversation. I don't think we ask enough questions to our friends. I think as men, we're very ego driven when it comes to, wanting an answer or getting the answer or getting the result. You know what I mean? Like, as a man, some of us wouldn't go ask, hey man, I see you losing some weight, man. You look good. Like, what are you doing to get there? What's your results, or what are you eating, or what is your, your splits? What is, we don't ask those questions. We don't ask the questions as men when we see successful results. We get a little bit ego driven and we get a little bit prideful that, I'm saying, damn, he did it. I don't want to ask. I'm gonna just figure it out. Man, if that's really your boy, he'll give you the sauce. You get what I'm saying? He'll give you the sauce if that's really your man's. But guess what? A closed mouth won't get fed. You know what I'm saying? If I got the formula 2 + 2 and you don't, why would I not give it to you if you're my boy? You know what I'm saying? I got the formula to get the answer. I'll happily give it to you. I hope a lot of my friends are listening to this. Like, man, like, and again, the things I do is not to brag. It's not to boast, to say, I'm doing this or I got that or I'm doing that, man. It's really just to inspire. It's really just to motivate. You know what I'm saying? If you're not motivating the people around you, then what are you really doing? You're draining. You're sucking the energy out of everybody around you. You know what I'm saying? So think too, when it comes to understanding, trying to make the right choice, if you know a gentleman, or a guy, or a mentor or OG, man, go ask them questions. My uncle, one of my favorite OGs, man, like, we talk all the time just about life and just how to, navigate through it, and, emotions and feelings and things of that nature. And that's somebody that I know that's on my phone, that if I have a question about life or making a choice or a decision, or what do you think the best option for this is, I call him. You know what I'm saying? He's lived life twice over as me, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen, he inspires me, he motivates me. Shout out to my Uncle Gino, man. He inspires me and motivates me in ways that, without him even speaking, it's just seeing what he's doing, or the little nuggets that he drops here or there, or just, being around him and the energy he has. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that type of energy or that type of focus is not something that you have when you're around certain people. You need to get the fuck from around them. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll have people that you're around that cause you to make terrible choices. You have people around you that kind of, dampens your vision to see the opportunities that you could have right in front of you. Because sometimes you put yourself, and we got to stop doing this shit too, man. Sometimes we are around people that, just live in the past all the time. People who live in remember when era all the time, or man, we used to era. You got to get and I'm not gonna say completely cut them people off, because you know what I'm saying, they're still probably your people, but you have to dial back the amount of time that you're around those people, because we shouldn't be remembering when, or remember we used to, or back in the day. We should be talking about, man, what we gonna do, man. When are we gonna get this done, man? In about 2 years, that's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be talking about the progression and the choices that we got to make to get to that. You know what I'm saying? I think when it comes down to choices and me giving y'all, my insight on how to make the right choice versus the wrong choice, I think it's a difficult, this conversation to tell you, hey, this is how you make the right choice versus the wrong choice. But what I will say is, in your heart, if the choice that you're making is the right one or the wrong one. Every situation you're in, you are faced with, do I go this way or do I go that way? You have to look at the situation, break it down. And that's another thing. Break the situation down. Don't be so, anxious to make a quick decision. A lot of us make quick decisions, and then we find ourselves in even quicker, difficult situations, because now we just made a decision off of impulse and off of emotion. You know what I mean? Like, we want to get to the end so bad, we make such quick impulse decisions and not even realizing the end is even further now. The goal is even further now. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to make a quick split second decision. You know what I'm saying? We need to be better. We need to understand that every choice we make, it does affect the people around us. If we're the leaders, protectors, providers, and things of that nature, the choices that we make on a daily basis affects everyone around us, regardless if you believe that or not. But it does, because it's somebody that's looking at you. It's somebody that you're intertwined with, your family, your friends, your wives, your girlfriends, things of that nature. Your choices affects everybody, And I will say this too. Another thing that is deep rooted in the choices that you make is finding yourself. A lot of us don't know who we are. A lot of us don't know where we're going or what we're doing. So the choices we make, we don't even know if that choice is the right choice for you, because you don't even know who you are. I think we need to take time, reassess, and understand. Write down what and who you want to be again. That's so elementary. When back in the day when they used to do it, what do you want to be when you grow up? That shit is so elementary. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What are some goals that you have? Do that now. Refine yourself. Figure out, damn, what do I want to be? It's never too late to reinvent yourself or to find your identity, because a lot of us haven't even found it yet. So it's never too late. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What are your goals? What are your 5, 10, 15-day goals? 5, 10, 15-year goals? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are those things? Those are the choices. And what choices do I have to make to get and achieve those goals? You know what I'm saying? We all have the chance to make the choices that we want. Everybody has, it's 50-50. You make the right choice or you make the wrong choice. But guess what? You have the choice. But the question is, which one is the right one? And you know what the answer is? The choice is yours. It's your boy, man. Appreciate y'all coming, man. Another great episode. Tune in. We going to do these bi-weekly, man. If you want to be a part of the pod, you want to get on, hop on the episode, you know what I'm saying, be a special guest, go ahead and hit me up, man. We can set it up and get you on here, man. I want to start having more guests so we could, have these open-ended conversations, or open table conversations, I want to say, and really get, different perspectives in. You know what I'm saying? But, man, it's been another episode, man. Choices. Make sure y'all make the right ones this week, man, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.